said you can bury the workman, but the work will go on. You can silence the voices, but you can't stop the song.
Welcome to Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged with your host, Brain Fitzpatrick. Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged is a snapshot of the day-to-day experiences of disabled individuals as they navigate the world around us. We wish to shed light and open your eyes on a new perspective of people with disabilities. And by going unplugged, we can discuss viewpoints we hope will challenge our viewers' points of view. Most of us have disabilities we must live with, but what defines us is the way we deal with them. And now, here's your host, Brain Fitzpatrick.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Brain Fitzpatrick bringing you an episode of Wheeling the Pathways of Life. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to bring you a first-hand account of what it's like taking care of me by one of my PCAs, Joshua Tim. Good afternoon, Joshua.
Good afternoon, Brian. How are you?
Good. What is it like to take care of me? I mean, I know I can be a challenge, but
that's all right.
is it as fun as I pretend it to be, or is it a challenge for you as well?
Well, as an EMT and lifelong, PCA, I just haven't done it for a while. Taking care of people is something I'm really good at. So I go to work, and it's going to work, but working with you, I'm able to learn different things every single day about you and about life that you live and the things that you do, this TV show being one of them. Then I get to go out and about with you in Pittsfield and see different things, and I see that we're going to be talking with the mayor. I see you talk to the public works people as well. So I know you're in a chair, but you're very capable of getting around and making a change bit by bit, which I think is awesome.
Yeah. One of the things I want to talk a little bit about, how hard is your job given the state of the regulations that you're faced with every day, as far as not, do you have everything you need to do your job?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And like I tell people, when I first started a job, I got lucky in the sense that you live close to me, which it works out for both of us. So I can help you quickly if you need me, and I'm able to get to you quickly. And if I need to, I can ride my bike to you, even when it gets nicer. I enjoy the job and I enjoy taking care of you, and it's not that difficult. I mean, physically, I have a Hoyer lift to help you, and you're fully capable of telling me the things that you need done, and a lot of the things are daily things I do for myself.
Believe me, I know how to do that. Believe me, I know how to do that very well. What I meant by, do you have everything you need as far as, I know one of the things we wish we had was a van to get around and do things, do more things. You touched upon it a little bit, but do you actually think the PCA, my version of the PCA program is actually a job, or do you consider it just a friendship, hanging out with each other and doing that? I mean, yes, you get paid for it, but do you consider it work? Is what I'm asking.
It is a job, but I don't come to work every day thinking I got to go to work. I enjoy spending time with you, and I do things with you off the clock as well. So no, it's not. Here I go to work again. It's not like this. Okay, I go to work with you in the morning, and it's a pleasurable experience. We banter back and forth here and there, just like any other friend in a relationship. It's a give and take, which is great.
And folks, I want you to know, any type of relationship is like a marriage.
Correct.
We disagree, and we disagree, but we do it in a respectful and a funny way to do it.
Yes, sir.
One of the things I like about Josh, and this is a compliment for you, is Josh isn't fake with me. Josh isn't coming up with excuses not to do what I ask him to do. Other than the fact he doesn't like computers, but
My arch nemesis. What I'm learning.
But he takes me seriously as a boss. He doesn't wait for the agency to tell him what to do. He kind of looks towards me as to what to do, and that's the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Because the agency is just a support for me as far as providing payroll and providing me information so I can make sure my staff are where they're supposed to be and what they're doing is where they're supposed to be and what they're doing is accurate, but they aren't there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Or I know I can call Josh anytime, and if he's available, he will come running.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And in any job, I don't think there's any part of the PCA program, in my opinion, and I'll ask Josh in a minute, I don't think there's any part of the PCA program, if we weren't some type of friends, I don't think it would work as well as it does. If we didn't have some type of friendship type relationship, I don't think it would work as well as it has. And believe it or not, Jazz has only been with me for almost 2 months now. And it's been a great ride so far.
And I hope it will continue.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it will.
Mm-hmm.
And not too many people get invited to employees' wedding after a month of working with them, and I really appreciate the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, I'm getting married tomorrow, and he'll be there. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm glad he's there.
Any support I can do, I will.
I know that. I know that.
And I know that we banter back and forth. if you guys could only, if you guys only knew half of what we talk about, you'd understand. But it's the type of relationship where we can get our work done, but we can have fun doing it too. And being an EMT, working in the hospital and stuff like that is very easy to trust him on how to do things, and you know. I know the rules are kind of different than what you used to as far as what you can do and what you are expected to do versus what you can do is different. And I don't think I could have expected your resume the way it came out as well as it did, as far as your capabilities and your willingness to help me out in areas that technically, and I mean, it's different because you can't do whatever you want, but
Correct.
as far as the state is concerned and what you are expected to do, it's kind of amazing how much more independence I have when you're around versus some of those people that say, I can't do that, it's not part of my job. You know, I'm not saying those people are bad people, but there's a definite difference, and I had a gold mine when I found you.
Thank you.
So.
Mm-hmm.
And you also worked for, you also worked and about to work for, back on the emails for a local emails company.
For Goshen.
Goshen.
Mm-hmm. Highland Ambulance.
Island. How do you find time to have a life?
Well, fortunately for me, I'm a high energy person, so I'm able to, with help with my friends and family, you included, organize things. So I'm able to work with you, get my exercise in, and then fit in ambulance time when I can. And they're great. They're like family to me. They understand that this is my main job, and if I can help them out in the future, they'll accept it that way. And that's, like I said, I'm very fortunate all around to have this help and support of a multitude of people and groups of people, my family included.
Yeah. And not to embarrass you, but
Of course not.
I think you're gonna be amazed, people, what I can say. Josh was about the same thing and amaze you.
Mm-hmm.
Josh is got multiple things going for him right now, but in a way, he is overcoming a major disability.
Mm-hmm. You could talk about it.
And for a guy that's been an alcoholic for many years and to be recovering the way he is and to be working in the medical field and in the PCA services, I'm very proud and very humble some help with the long-term relationship, and I'm gonna be with you, pal.
I appreciate it.
And we met each other in an unusual way.
A good way.
The state does not recommend we do this, but as far as me hiring friends and family, because there's too much of a, it's hard to separate at times, but you and I can figure out the difference between work and, if I tell you this is the way something's gotta be done, this is the way it's gotta be done, and there's no question. But there's questions, but you know what I mean, there is no talk. There is pushback, but it's in a funny way. But the agencies and stuff don't understand how important a relationship is like this to have. And they always tell me, be careful who you hire. Obviously for safety reasons, but don't get too attached. How can you not become attached with people that are taking care of you? You're trusting them to take care of you every day, and to have Josh as a medical person and to know the difference of, okay, is this Brian being Brian, or is there something wrong with Brian? I think that's key as far as any relationship should be, as far as you gotta have somebody that understands you more than anybody else. It's not like we go too far with the relationship. It's somebody that knows me and understands me that can pull me aside and say, hey, what's going on, Anything I can do to help.
And it goes two ways, Brian. I mean, I'm able to work with you, and if I've got stuff on my mind, when I'm working with you, it's not like I have to save that stuff for later. I can bring that stuff up to you, and we discuss it. And a lot of times, just discussing things will help both me and you clear things up, not necessarily between us, but in our lives. And we both have different things going on in our lives at different times. So I think it's great. And once again, it's not every relationship is like that. We have something that's pretty awesome. And I tell people in my den, like at my gym, or my fiance, soon-to-be wife, I got lucky. Not everybody gets this. They go to work and they go home, and that's it. They don't do much outside of that with the other person.
And work is work.
Correct.
And that's all it is. And there's definitely more to what's going on with us than there is. Work is a secondary. Work is not necessarily secondary when it needs to be done, but the friendship and the respect is always primary when we get together.
Correct. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to help you out and I try to be one step ahead of you. I know you like to make decisions for yourself about what you're wearing every day, but I'd like to have, your whatever it may be ready for. So 3 sets of clothes, which one are you going to choose versus waiting to pull something out? It's already out. I try to do that. That's the way I am on the ambulance as well. If you get to a scene, I don't want to have to go back to the ambulance. I want to have it with me, I want to be prepared. That goes the same for you.
Yeah.
So, and it's, you know, it's for me, that's not doing the ambulance or PCA work for a long time. It makes my mind sharper for everyday life, which is great.
Not that the other PCAs aren't great, but it's like to know that if something happens or something goes haywire, I can stop and explain it to somebody else what to do and how to get it done and stuff like that. And I'm looking at options with Josh that I probably never will with anybody else. I mean, most of my life has been do this because people want what's best for me and stuff like that, which is all fine and good. But there's some decisions that I gotta make for myself. And Josh gives me the room to be able to do that. He may suggest things, but that's all they are, suggestions.
Correct.
But they're meant to be helpful suggestions, not just, I think you should wear this or I think you should wear that. I mean, it's genuine caring about the person is the key as far as working as one. You gotta, when you're working with somebody like me, you gotta work with people where they are. You can't just go in and say you're gonna change this and expect it to be done the way you want it done. It's gotta be a team effort before, you know. It can't just be, I'm gonna do this because I know better than anybody else what I'm doing. I know me as well as I can know myself, but taking experience from you and applying it to me also is helping me too. So, and we banter back and forth. If we didn't, any situation like this is, any situation like me being in a chair and somebody working with somebody as hard as Josh does and as hard as the other people do, you gotta have fun with your job. And, yeah.
Right, which I believe that we'd be able to do more, and we go for walks here and there with like some nice weather, which is coming, but the van would get us able to go farther away to a park or go to Springfield or, you know, go to Basketball Hall of Fame, those type of things. I think would be to get out there and do stuff, because I know you want to, and if we can get a few people to help us out in that area, like the church, I'm not sure who, but that's something that could come down the line, that'd be great. So no matter whoever's taking care of you, if you're game to do something like that, you know, then they should go along with it, and you know that would be awesome for both of you.
I'm not asking people to do stuff they don't want
Fair
to
enough.
do, but the more equipment, the more
Right. Freedom.
the more equipment, the more stuff we have, the more choices
Right.
me and the employees have. And Josh, what inspired you to get in your many fields of helping people? Is it because you've had to help with your situation with your alcohol, or is there more to it than that? I mean,
There's more to it than that. As a teenager, well, 18 was when I got out of college or stopped going to college. I joined the fire department, became an EMT and a home health care provider. But I got the abilities to work in the home and a nursing home. You good?
yeah.
Okay. And with more opportunities to help different people, I always thought that if I get somebody of any type of disability in my ambulance, if I'm already working for those different type of people, I can have a better understanding of those people and I can help them better than just someone who works on the ambulance and just gets thrown whatever at them and they're not ready to prepare with a person who's been in a wheelchair or a person who has Down syndrome or someone who has a brain injury, because everybody, or Alzheimer's, everybody's going to react to an emergency situation different. You have to learn how to approach those people, and as a new EMT, I thought it would be a great idea to have as much knowledge of people that I'm going to be taking care of at once.
Yeah. One of the difficult things for Joshua, and sometimes is my rule, there's an understanding why I do what I do as far as the fire evacuation procedures and stuff for me. That's gonna be tough for you because I know you and I have talked about this so many times. You want to just grab me out of the house and throw me on the ground or whatever, but it just doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the challenges we inquire is, it's part of my problem is I've dealt with so many people that can't do something. It's hard for me to realize that people can do something if they really want to, and it's knowing when somebody's actually being genuine. After a while, when so many people haven't been genuine. It's a challenge for me. So, what has been the biggest and funnest things we've done in these past couple months, that in this month and a half that we've worked together, that you can take back and say, I've actually done that, and I've actually helped somebody do that? Can you give us an example of a couple of those moments?
When we go out for walks, so we get to see different people when we're out there versus only staying in your house and doing stuff at the television or the computer, which you've been great teaching me that a little bit better. But being out and about with you, going to get ice cream, I asked you, do you want the ice cream in your mouth or in your head, stuff like that. And seeing two people of different capabilities in public interacting that way as two friends, hopefully gives an example to other people how things can be, and I do believe they should be, which I think is great.
Yeah. And basically what we're saying today, and I'm gonna say this quite frankly, there's a difference between a job that you can go to and get money, but if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna do a job like PCA, any justice or any healthcare business, you gotta really give a crap about what you are doing and the person you're working with. Because if you don't give a crap about the person you're working with, then personally it's wrong business for you. Because the main objective to working with somebody with a disability and working with somebody with a physical challenge is personal care and emphasizing the word care. And if you don't care, there's no the quality of work is not going to be there. As much as the state wants me to keep to physical care only, there's got to be some actual genuine care about what the person needs and what the person wants, and vice versa. I've got to be flexible to what the PCAs need or what they don't need.
And you are. You're very flexible. It's much appreciated. It makes my life a lot easier. I'm still able to help you, but not get bound, I don't know if the word's bound but restricted by taking care of you. So if I need to go home real quick and do something, I'm allowed to do that, and I come back and I take care of you, because you're pretty independent for the most part.
Yeah.
And you having me at your house longer is beneficial to both of us, not just me. So, and vice versa.
Yeah. It gives you more hours, but it also gives me more flexibility to do what I need to do.
And you're not sitting at home, in front of a computer screen when it's beautiful outside,
Except when it's raining and there's nothing else.
Yeah, we need that to stop. Yeah.
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 It's living in the Northeast is a challenge in itself. But as I always say, things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
When we come back, I'm gonna continue to talk to Josh, and Josh and I'll get into some more of the adventures that are possibly gonna happen, and things we are working on in the future that we hope to happen. We'll be right back, folks.
Thank you.
When all I see is the battle, you see my victory. When all I see is a mountain, you see a mountain move. And as I walk through the shadow, your love surrounds me. There's nothing to fear now, for I am safe with you. So when I fight, I'll fight on my knees, with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you, and every fear I lay at your feet, and I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. And if you are for me, who can be against me? For Jesus, there's nothing impossible. You go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. You shine in the shadows. You win every battle. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. Almighty fortress, you go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. You shine in the shadows. You win every battle. Oh, nothing can stand against the power of our God. Almighty fortress, you go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. You shine in the shadows. You win every battle. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. So when I fight, I'll fight on my knees with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. And every fear I lay at your feet. I sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. Oh God, the battle belongs to you.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Brain Fitzpatrick coming to you live from the facility of Pittsburgh Community Television. I have Joshua Tim with us
Good afternoon.
today. We're going back to our discussion about what we what we're hoping for and what we can accomplish. Also what our dreams are as human beings and where we expect to be in a couple of years. And Joshua's giving me an opportunity to even dream about possibly moving down to Florida someday. And although I know it's gonna take a while, but just to know that somebody cares about me enough to even let me think about that is very amazing too as well. Somebody says to me all the time, no, you can't do that, or no, that would be too difficult. Josh says, let's see how we can possibly get it done at some point. And that's what the purpose of this show is. It's to show people, even though you're disabled, it's a way to get in. You can lead a normal as any life can be, given your challenges. And I really respect Josh for that, and we've got some pretty lofty goals, and Let's see what we can get done. And the time we got together with it, the time we got together to get them done. Some of the goals may not be something that I want to do, but it's something that I'm exploring. Different options, different shows to do. He's typically behind the scenes doing the audio on my show and learning about me as a PCA, but also learning about what I like to do and what I am good at doing. And how is it being on the other side of that wall over there, Josh?
Well, not necessarily this being new to me. I'm a good public speaker, and I'm just learning the equipment back there. So that's a little scarier. Talking to you and on a camera isn't scary to me. I like to be in the public. You know, I go to festivals and dance. I get lost in that, and by talking to you, my focus is on you. I'm not focusing the surrounding of people watching me.
And you hear your disabilities to your benefit.
Correct.
Because I know you've got ADHD.
Yes.
Yeah. And he talks fast, but he has a great big heart, and you know, sometimes I have to slow him down a little bit, but you know, he wants to work hours when I don't even have the hours to work, and it's like, well, I can't have you working tonight because I got somebody coming in an hour to work for me, and it's like, but the flexibility of having somebody there who wants to work is one of the biggest differences that I've noticed. And somebody that I can call in at a moment's notice. And if I end up in the hospital for a situation, he's not worried about getting paid. He's more worried about me as a person and how I'm doing. And as an EMT, he can hop in the back of the ambulance with me and actually assist in taking care of me.
Yeah, as your caretaker, if that were to happen, I would be able to, if you were incapacitated some way, I could relay information really quickly to them, because as an EMT, taking care of somebody sick, the best way to take care of them is if we could know what's wrong with them and what their baselines are right away. So if I could say, this is normal for Brian, this is not normal for Brian, it makes it a lot easier to take care of you quickly.
And quite frankly, you don't give a damn. You don't give a damn if you get paid for it or not. At that point, it's just saving my life.
Yeah.
Or doing what's best for me at the time.
Right.
The pay is important, but the pay is not as important as my life.
Correct.
And that's the part of caring about what you're doing, and you gotta be fully invested. Or I would recommend. Now I'm saying this from my perspective, but if you're not fully invested, maybe this job isn't for you. That's what we're saying, folks. It's like if the firefighter or EMT didn't come out of Josh every once in a while and say, I understand you don't want to be evacuated, but is there a reason why you don't want to be evacuated? Those are important questions, but not questions like, what do I do if I find you incapacitated and when I come in, what do I do? Just turn around and leave? Those kind of questions are helpful. Those kind of questions are rather stupid and heartless. I understand people generally don't know what to do, but looking at it from my perspective, as somebody asking me, what do I do if I find you dead? I would hope anybody with common sense would say, call 911. Get emergency services there. See what you can do. Unless you've got an active DNR, and you know I'm a DNR, which I'm not a DNR,
Right.
but if I was, that would be the only time.
Right. And that's always subject to change. You can change that anytime you want.
You wouldn't, that's the only time you wouldn't do any saving,
Correct.
any corrective action. And you can specify what
Measure.
corrective action you want,
Right.
what corrective action you don't want.
And that's the stuff I'm talking about for the EMS, because sometimes we're looking in refrigerators and where it's supposed to be, the information and what your medicines are, whether you are a DNR. But if I'm with you, I can get all that information to them instantly.
Yeah.
Saves a lot of time, and it's all about saving a life is about time.
You do know I have a med book
Mm-hmm.
at the house, and I do have a what about Brian with some of that information in there.
And I know your regular stuff, what times you take them, what they are.
But the way they're set up, it's easy for people that don't know
Correct.
what they are, what they're given. They know the times. They know to give them at certain times, but they don't necessarily need to know what they are. Even when you're on vacation, even though you're not going on vacation, at times I know I can also call you if I run into trouble. You can talk somebody through. This is what he needs and this is what he means and stuff like that. So that's a big help too,
Sure.
as far as that goes.
Again, you help me with stuff too, so it's not just I come in and take care of you and go home. There's a lot more to it than that, which makes our dynamic pretty awesome.
Yeah. People, I don't mean to harp on this, but again, you gotta really care about what you're doing. And with Josh being as interested as he is, and knowing the technology, knowing the background of what I do, and having an audio background, and having a DJ background, it's really given me an opportunity to open open what I can do up to make Wheeling the Pathway of Life better than what it has been before. And I really appreciate it, and I really look forward to continuing to have the type of relationship we do, Josh.
Me too.
And I don't expect miracles, and I don't expect you to jump off a bridge, especially when the bridge is out.
Correct. Yes, we don't want any bridges out.
But there's plenty of bridges out when you're disabled, and
Yep. You gotta find a way around them. That's all.
yeah, and that's why I picked the title of the show. You gotta find your own pathways, but you gotta be able to meet people on their pathways along the way. When you're going down your pathway, you gotta get on other people's pathways, sometimes to meet them where they are. And sometimes you don't know you're making a difference in somebody's life until there comes a point where a big drastic change has happened, or somebody actually sits down and says, well, I never lived a life that way. And although we do it in a funny way, Josh and I have many of those moments where we just look at each other and say, wow, I didn't realize that. Or Josh will often say to me, why do you like to watch that on the internet? Because it's physical work, but if I can learn something and be able to translate how to do something to somebody else, if I need something done, if I don't understand how to do it, I can't translate how to do it to the people. You know? Like getting things fixed around the house and stuff.
Right.
If I don't watch somebody do it and understand how somebody does it, then I can't get somebody else to do it when I need something done. So it's, you know, some of it can be weird, but some of it is practical. And with Josh, it can get a little interesting in some of the conversations we have, but it's also in this way a good thing too, because I don't have to dread somebody that I don't know or don't like coming in, and it'll be okay. It'll be lighthearted. Josh is coming. He won't give me a hard time because I've done something, had an accident or something, you know. Just clean it up, keep going, you know.
Absolutely.
Not a big deal.
Nope.
Other people would say, I'm not doing that because that ain't my job.
I don't understand that.
And with that, folks, I'd just like to say, if you like to see anything special on Wheeling the Pathway of Life with me, Brain Fitzpatrick, you can get hold of me at Wheeling the Pathway of Life at wheelingthepathwaytolife@gmail.com. That's wheelingthepathwaytolife@gmail.com. And Josh and I we'll start looking at that email more and trying to answer some of the emails, try to be there to answer questions and be there to let you have a voice. And so it's just not me sitting here talking to the walls and saying what my experiences are. I want to know what your experiences are and what you need to know. So please get a hold of me at wheelingthepathwaytolife@gmail.com. With that, folks, this has been a great show, and thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Brian, for having me. I appreciate it.
Coming on. And again, congratulations for tomorrow. And
Thank you.
Look forward to being there.
Can't wait. It's going to be fun.
This has been Brian Fitzpatrick bringing you an episode of Wheeling the Pathway to Life. We will be back next week, folks. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Bury the workman, but the work will go on. You can silence the voices, but you can't stop the song. 'Cause when the spirits move, and His will be done. You can bury the workman, but the work will go on.